All right, good morning, everybody. We back at it again today. Did manage to get two trades in. One was one was pretty good. We're gonna break them down in today's video. So let's trade. All right, first trade today was here on EDU, and it was making a really nice move. You can see it hitting up below me here into the mid 20s on the scanner. I go ahead and get short at 1652. Excuse me. The only reason I only took 100 shares on this one was because I hated the daily chart. It was down big on that daily chart, and it was getting into where if it broke up nice through there, it could make a big move up higher. So I decided just to take this one easy here at 1652, and I'm going to look to start partialing this one out if we can get under the 1620s here. So looking for under 1620 here. It's getting under 1620. I'm watching it. It's kind of hanging right here around the 1620s. So I'm going to go ahead and take my first half off here once it gets back down under 1620 on the bid. There it is. I take the half off right there, and we'll see if we can get the remainder back down under 16. So like I said, ideally would have been in much bigger size in this one to start rather than the 100 shares, but if you guys go and look at the daily chart, you'll see what I'm talking about in this one. It had the potential to really squeeze if it wanted to make a big pop through there. I just hated the daily on it, so I knew I wanted to trade it because it was definitely the best setup that I've seen all week, but I wanted to be careful on it because of those reasons. So we're in here and we got 50 shares left, and at this point I think I'm just gonna wait and see if we can get under 16, and if it kind of struggles and doesn't do that, I'm probably just going to look to put a stop in here. So I'm looking around elsewhere. I'm just kind of letting it go, and then I do put the stop in there over 1640 so that I can look around elsewhere, try and find another trade. I'm just gonna let those 50 shares sit just in case it wants to fade all the way back down to like 15 something. You can see where it came from. Came from 15 today, so it definitely had that possibility of getting down there, but it does start coming back up here, so had to stop in. I did eventually put out another partial order there while I was looking at other stuff that obviously did not get filled, and there I get filled on the stop and cancel out the other order. So only up $21 on that one, not much of a win, but a little something to start the day at least. A little bit later in the day, ROKU is popping up here. It's making a pretty good move. We're up 3 points or so off of the breakout over 101.5. So I'm watching it here at the $half level at 104.50, and I see it starting to hold up there. So I go ahead and get short 100 shares here at 104.53. So now the plan on this one is going to be if we come down under 104, I will start partialing out, or if we get up through 105, that will be my first add for the next 100 shares here if ROKU can push up a little bit higher here. So I wanted to get it started because that was a nice candle there. That candle alone was almost a point and a half just in that one candle. So definitely biggest candle of the day, and we're up 3 points over the last 5 minutes or so, with the last two candles being a little bit extended and the scanner alert getting up into the 15s or there. So, you know, it wasn't like a perfect setup here, but it was definitely one that I thought I could take, and I didn't think that ROKU was going to rip my face off or anything today. So I was okay with starting this one probably a little earlier than I would have liked. Probably normally I would have liked up towards or through that 105 here, but once I saw it hanging there around that 104.50s, I decided to go ahead and get the short started there. So it hangs there for a minute and then it starts coming back down. So I'm looking to get under 104 for the first partial out here, the first 50 share partial. So I'm watching the bid. Bid comes down under 104. I hit the button. We take the partial out right there. So back down to 50 shares now. And this time I'm going to try and partial these out even a little bit further from the 50 shares, even more than just a half and a half, just because I want to practice it more for when I have bigger share size, hopefully in the future. Practice trading the right way, even though if I partial it out to small share size, it's not going to really equal too much more money added. But here comes down towards the 103.50, so I click another half button and I take that there. So now down to 25 shares. So got that just above the 50s, like 56, something like that. And we now have 25 shares left, and I'm going to sit and wait and see what these can do. So a couple minutes later, it's coming down towards the 9 SMA, so I decided to put out another 15 shares here at 103.20, see if I can get a fill there. I get the fill there just because it's on the SMA, so I'm like, all right, you know what? I can get 15 here, be left with 10 shares, put a stop on those, and see if those want to fade all the way back down to like 101, ideally. So I'm going to put a stop in here, and I'm just kind of determining where do I want to put the stop. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, probably over 104. And really the only question is how much room over 104 do I want to give it in case it gives a little one of those little fake pops. So you can see me entering it in the stop order here, and I decide on 104.05. So 5 cents over 104 stops in there with 10 shares. So we'll see if it can fade off. If we get another big move to the downside, I'll probably even partial out more. But if not, we'll see what it does. So, 2 minutes later, it does start making a big move to the downside, about a point further here in one candle. So I'm looking at it, and I'm going to go ahead and take that 5 shares off here at 102.51. So about another point or so, a little bit less to the downside here. And now I'm going to reset the stop up over, I believe I put it over 103. Yeah, up over 103. So I put the stop there over 103, and I'm just going to let those fade out, but it does come out and get me stopped there. But making $85 on only 100 shares, but really the best part about this one was I was really happy with how I traded it, really like how the chart looks. So that's going to do it for me today. Thankfully, a little bit better today than yesterday. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We're still pressing into summer, so not overly optimistic about it, but we did see a few moves out there today, even one or two that I didn't get that worked out okay. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.